Alright, I have a million things to cover in tribute to fighting games because we're covering pretty much the entire fighting game genre and its entire existence since Street Fighter 2 came out in 1991. I'm going to say off the top of my head, so let me know if I got that wrong. So, first I want to talk about the arcade. You can't talk about fighting games without bringing up the arcade, even though most people today are probably just playing them on online service of your choice. And that's wonderful. I'm really glad that exists because that means fighting games have come back in a really big way. There was a big fighting game dry spell between arcades and online, and it was really sad. Like, I completely forgot fighting games were a genre for a while. Like, the only thing people played were Smash, and of course no real fighting game fan thinks Smash is a real fighting game. Slow down, I'll explain myself later. But basically, the arcade is where you went if you wanted to fight a dude and, you know, not physically fight a dude. So the games I played in that wonderful arcade atmosphere was, of course, Street Fighter 2, the opening Mortal Kombat trilogy, Mortal Kombat 1, 2, and 3. Of course, we had to get our X-Men vs. Street Fighter and Marvel vs. Capcom 1 and 2 jam on back in the high school days. Also, back in high school, I got my first taste of a wonderful little Capcom game called Project Justice, the sequel to another niche Capcom game called Rival Schools United by Fate. Both terrible titles for fighting games. And why would the sequel to your fighting game be a completely different name? I mean, you stuck with Street Fighter 2 for about 8 games, but you can't stick with Rival Schools for 2. Oh, Capcom. And I also played like Tekken 1, 2, and 3. Of course, my favorites in the arcade were, of course, in that era of just wanting to dominate an arcade, or the games I was best at. So the winner for me is Mortal Kombat. I just understood the moves better. After I was able to play Mortal Kombat 1 at home, I could go to play Mortal Kombat 2 in the arcade and own a couple dudes, even though I was only about 10 at the time. Still trashing fools. I mean, it's in my blood. It runs in our family like a ninja clan, but for being good at video games. That's what I like to believe. I've trained many young students in the ways of kicking some ass at video games and talk trash while doing it. That's something else we get to enjoy later on. You can't talk fighting games without talking trash. I also wanted to tell one quick story that I love telling people when I want to brag about my fighting game prowess at one of my favorite fighting games, Project Justice. I was in the mall. I don't know what I was doing at the mall. Who goes to the mall? But I was in the arcade when malls still had arcades. Maybe your mall still has an arcade, but who goes to the mall? I was at the arcade. I'm messing with Project Justice because that's my jam. I go up. It turns out that the control stick for the first player, you can't move forward. So basically, I was doing a couple of regular moves, playing the computer for like a round or two because I already put 50 cents in, even though the controller's busted. I might as well play the match, see what I can do. So some fool comes up to me thinking he's hot shit. He comes in, he puts his quarters in, and being the gamer I am, I don't say nothing, whatever. I'm gonna go get my 50 cents back from whatever teenager works here after this, either way. So bring it on, whoever you are. And I don't know if the dude thought he was good, or he just saw a dude in the arcade and thought, hey, I'll take this guy on. But I basically whooped him without even being able to move forward. I just blocked a little, did some low attacks by holding down. I was able to get off a move or two somehow, and just a lot of countering and dodging pretty much. So dude loses, and he puts more quarters in. He wastes another 50 cents trying to take me on, and of course I own him again because I have a little more of the flow of not getting to use the forward button. So all this dude is just fodder. In the next round, I wailed on him even harder. So dude leaves, I'm like, whatever. I'm still playing on the same 50 cents I had already put in. And I'm playing out the next computer match that it gave me for free. And dude comes back. He comes back with more money. And he comes back and he doesn't even do better. It was sad. I felt bad for him. Like, I was gonna give him that match, but he was so bad that I got carried away, and I still kicked his ass. Some of the most worthwhile 50 cents I ever spent.